What's up, Coachable family? In today's episode, I am joined by the incredible David Meltzer, who's the co-founder of Sports One Marketing and is formerly the CEO of the renowned Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment Agency. If you don't know what that is, David was the inspiration for the movie Jerry Maguire. Yes, he is an incredible guy who has worked with the biggest names in this athletic world. But not only that, he was recognized by Variety magazine as their sports humanitarian of the year and awarded the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. He's also the executive producer of the Bloomberg and Amazon Prime television series 2 Minute Drill and Office Hours. And he's on a mission to empower 1 billion people to be happy. And I can tell you this, he brought so much of that joy and value to today's episode. I cannot wait for you to hear from David. He is such an epic leader, and there's so much we can learn from him. But before we jump in, I want to say thank you to our sponsor. Now, this, guys, is a brand and a sponsor that I have so much to be grateful for this year, because in 2022, if you've been following me, you know this is a year I am focusing on my physical health. I'm really going to do a deep dive into taking care of my body. It needs my love, it needs my affection, my attention, and this is the year that I'm really going to look underneath the hood and see what's going on. And the first way I did that is I went to a functional medicine doctor to get my a full panel of blood work done. And this really helped me to see what's really going on, because the truth is so many of us struggle with low energy, and that typically is caused by two things: either chronic stress or lack of nutrition. And our sponsor for today's show is Organifi. And I love Organifi so much because they make getting your nutrition and lowering your stress so easy through their superfood blends. This is their Organifi green juice, which I'm absolutely obsessed with, and it has close to 10 different superfoods packed into here. And I can feel so good when I get up in the morning and I just put a scoop of this into my morning water, mix it up, and get my greens in. I know and can be confident that I'm getting the nutrients that my body is craving so that I can make it through a long day of work. So if you this year are also wanting to focus on your physical health, you do not need to look any further than Organifi, because they have incredible products that I 100% stand behind. If you want to get 20% off your Organifi greens, just go to torigordon.com/Organifi. Now, I have a couple other announcements before we jump into today's episode that you do not want to miss, because we have some very exciting things coming up this month. In the month of February, I have partnered with my good friend Samantha Skelly, who is the owner of Pause Breathwork and Pause Coaching. Now, you might have heard her on the show a couple months back, and we talked about breathwork. I went through her program, the Pause Breathwork Facilitator Program, maybe a year, 2 years ago now, and it was absolutely life-changing. It has been such a huge catalyst for getting me to where I am today and being able to do the deep transformational work that I am with my clients. And I know so many of you guys ask me, Tori, what coaching programs do you recommend? I want to do work with people that is transformational. I truly want to help people to heal from the inside out. And I hear you. And that's why I partnered with Sam to bring you an incredible masterclass, the evolution of coaching from mindset to embodiment. Now, a lot of us, we've done a lot of mindset work. If you're following this show, you're into personal development, you're into personal growth, but mindset is only half the battle. Yes, it's important to shift your limiting beliefs and work with your subconscious, but if we don't embody the work ourselves, meaning we don't get into our bodies, we're doing ourselves a disservice, and we're doing our clients a disservice as well. So February 7th, coming up February 7th, at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, Sam and I are partnering to give you the evolution of coaching from mindset to embodiment masterclass. So if you want to register for that, make sure to go to the link in the show notes where you're going to be able to register. And last but not least, I promise before we get into the episode today, I am going to be hosting a 5-day free challenge. You guys, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up. We're focus on love, whether it's with your significant other or maybe you're single, alone this year, there is nothing wrong with that. This 5-day free self-love challenge is going to focus on your relationship to you. The most important relationship that you have is with yourself. And in this 5-day challenge, I'm going to help you to uncover what is really in the way from you accepting yourself as you are, from really learning how to take care of yourself. Not just pamper yourself, but truly give yourself what you need. Because self-love starts with becoming aware of what our needs are. And I'm going to break it down for you in the free 5-day self-love challenge. This is all going to be held inside the Coachable community on Facebook. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, make sure to go and join the Coachable community on Facebook. Now, that's going to be happening the 14th through the 18th of February. You do not want to miss this epic challenge. I'm going to be going into the Facebook group every single day, doing a live training in there with you. You're also going to have workbooks to go along with the training. And we're really going to create a space and a container where you get to work and love on yourself this year. Forget feeling like I don't have a partner, or maybe your relationship's kind of on the rocks right now, or you're in a great relationship, but you know you've been neglecting yourself. These 5 days are going to be totally committed to bringing you closer to you. So join me in the Coachable Community Facebook group. I'll see you as we get started on February 14th. Now, without further ado, we're going to get into this week's episode with David Meltzer. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Coachable podcast. I am thrilled to be meeting with David Meltzer today and having him bring his wisdom, his knowledge, and his expertise to the show. David, welcome, and thank you so much for spending some time with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you for having me. Just looking forward to hopefully inspiring many, many more people to make money, help people, and have fun themselves.
Yeah, I love your mission to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. I know that you're well on your way to doing this, and I'm just curious, like, over the past few years, as you've been building your online brand, it's been exploding, and I am absolutely loving everything that you put out. What are you most excited about that you're working on right now?
It's definitely the Apple TV deal that I just announced last week. So not only will all of my shows, the ones on Bloomberg, the ones on Amazon, all of my shows will be on Apple TV, but they've selected a few people like Martha Stewart and myself to create content. So it now empowers me to take Tori Gordon and she can present something to me, and I have the ability to create and executive produce content to amplify some of the great minds that I'm blessed to be around. And so very, very excited about the possibility, aligned with my mission of empowering over 1 billion people, to use the content on the platform that's biggest in the world to help do that. So I think it's really going to accelerate my success in empowering people to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just external manifestation of an internal reality that you live and embody and exude. I mean, I'm not surprised that you guys just inked this deal last week. Congratulations. Tell me kind of what is your process of manifesting deals like this? Because you've had so much success, and I know you're a very spiritual guy. Like, how do you start to create in your external world these types of opportunities for yourself? Because that starts within. So what does that look like for you?
Well, there's two things. One, understanding that when you start with nothing, no thing, and you imagine what you want, it becomes a possibility. So paying attention to what you want is how we imagine. So I start paying attention to what I want, who I can help, who can help me, how I could get it done. And I mathematically start the manifestation process by going from no thing to a possibility. Then I pay intention to it. And intention allows me to be inspired. So I start thinking, saying, doing, believing, and even feeling what it would be like to have my own Apple TV deal. And when I think, say, do, and believe and feel, I'm in spirit, inspired, connected to and through the omniscient, all-powerful source, I take my possibility of attention and I raise the mathematical statistical success to a probability. Then comes the fun part for me, which took years of dummy tax, situational knowledge, relationship capital, asking for help. To take a probability and make it your reality, you have to be disciplined. You need to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of the probability. You need to have strategy. In shifting the paradigm, my strategy is one of the surrender experiment by Michael Singer. My strategy is a little different, that it's already done. I just have to figure out and use my free will and power to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with what I already want, which is already there, this probability. And that's why it is a probability, is I know that once I'm in spirit, that it's a probability I can access it. I got to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with it. And the way that we do that is a process called awareness. And so I'm elevating my awareness to who's coming into my life, who feeds me, who bleeds me. And so I take my possibilities, I make them probabilities, and then use discipline, strategy, and awareness to make it my perspective, which is my reality, which is the materialization or the manifestation process. Combined with that, I utilize 5 daily practices. I call them the New Day resolutions, taking in consideration my New Year resolutions, my intermediate and long-term objectives. I go through every day knowing what I want personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise, who I can help and who can help me, how to get it done by a bunch of pragmatic tools that I've learned from the 5-20 rule, the activity I get paid for, activity I don't get paid for, the activity planned, I don't get planned, my unwinding routine, sleep, and it goes on and on and on. Basically, to put it into the how, we have to reconcile this inspiration into a pragmatic world of time and quantities. Then if I know my what, my who, my how, I can prioritize. And prioritization is the recognition of importance in my life and being able to do things now, being present. A lot of people would explain that as, which then allows me, number 5, to apply my why. I'm never in search of my why. I apply my why. I want to identify what I'm doing to interfere with my why and stop when I identify it, go back to center, neutral, back into my why, and roll back to the what, the who, and the how, and the now. But applying our why is the best way to be statistically successful, combined with the possibility, probability, and perspective mechanism that I've utilized.
I mean, you just preached a good word in about 5 minutes. We could just stop there, but we're not. I hope you guys got all of that. Let's break it down a little bit. One thing you said is you really focus on how you feel. I know gratitude is something that you talk a lot about. And in my experience, we don't attract necessarily just what we think about, but who we are. We attract what we're feeling. So talk about that process of how important gratitude is for you in your daily practices and getting into vibrational alignment with the things that we actually want to create for ourselves.
Vibrational alignment, that reconciliation is crucial, and gratitude is the key to the reconciliation, knowing that our objective of finding the light, the love, and the lessons in everything, then figuring out, do I want to take the time, the man-made construct of time, in order to effectuate finding the light, the love, and the lessons? So there's 2 parts to that. And gratitude also is an interesting thing, because do you know there's only one common denominator to happiness? It's not being rich or poor. It's not being tall or short. It's not being of a certain religion or non-religion, not some spirituality. It's simply gratitude. The only common denominator of all happy people is the ability to find the light, the love, and the lessons, to know that we're being protected and promoted with the pain, setbacks, failures, and mistakes that we made, not punished. And so gratitude is essential to happiness. And even moreover, it teaches coherence, because nothing is more powerful than gratitude. Everybody agrees with it, even though they won't do it. So that's why I have a 14-day gratitude challenge, not just to remind people to say thank you before they go to bed and when they wake up, or to be grateful, or to find the light, the love, and the lessons, but to teach something important in the man-made constructed world called coherence. See, the biggest problem is human beings don't remember what they want and they don't do it. So, for example, if I tell you you'll change your life by saying thank you when you go to bed and when you wake up, it's free. It takes 0.1 seconds. And everyone agrees it's the most powerful thing on earth that impacts you the most. Everyone, almost. And yet by tonight, half the people listening right here won't say thank you. By tomorrow morning, another half won't say thank you. Within 3 days, almost all of us, including me, may forget to say thank you because we have no coherence. So I created this 14-day gratitude challenge, not just to remind people the power of gratitude, but to teach coherence, because if I can teach coherence, it's amazing how rapidly and accurately you can attract what you want.
Yeah, because I think like the immediate thought that I have is why, if it's so simple, why do we make it so hard? Like, this is, like, to your point, the most powerful thing that we can be doing that takes no time at all, but we are so focused on the thing we need to do, what's not working, the negative mindset that we might have. So saying thank you at the beginning of the day, at night, getting in your 14-day challenge is going to start that process. But how do we, if we're just naturally more conditioned to think negative thoughts or focused on what's not working, which is ultimately going to attract more of what we don't want, we're in that lack mentality. Gratitude is a huge piece of that. But how do we start to intentionally create a life where we're not always on defense? We're not like there's not a deficit and we're always trying to come back. Because I see in my work so often people are focused on just reacting and they're not responding to life. And we're passive about the things that we want. We're like, oh, I just hope God will show me, or I hope this thing will happen, or I'm waiting to figure out what my potential is. We're not like actively pursuing it.
Yeah, well, it's the process of enjoying the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your potential each day, taking into consideration the mid and long-term objectives that you have, not being afraid of being a hypocrite, changing your mind, knowing that you're protected and promoted. I mean, this cornerstone of faith that I believe that in order for this all to work, you have to believe there's something bigger than you, an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source. I don't care what you define it as, but you have to believe there's something bigger than you that loves you more than your mom loves you or you love your own children. If you do that, it's quite easy to take the next step that says, well, I am being protected and promoted because I know that there's a parent out there that loves me more than my actual parents, but actually knows everything, is not ignorant and humble or arrogant, but knows everything. So just as if I was a little boy reaching to touch the stove, and my mom at 3 years old, when I was 3, slapped my hand and screams at me, no, in fear. And I think at 3, wow, I'm being punished. My mom's never hit anyone. Why is she hitting me? I'm being punished. All this pain. Well, my mom hugs me and tells me, I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting you. I'm promoting you. I'm teaching you a lesson. Well, I look the same way on this necessary anchor in my life, this faith that there is something bigger than me that's omniscient, all-powerful, and all-knowing. So when I get slapped and yelled at with the wrong relationships, with the wrong business, with the wrong things happening, I am being promoted and protected and taught a lesson. And this cornerstone of my strategy and philosophy in life allows me to expand, grow, and accelerate. In other words, instead of trying to get anything, all I'm doing is raising my awareness to that which is interfering with my health, happiness, wealth, and worthiness. I'm not trying to go get happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. I already have it. I just want to see what's interfering with it and stop that.
Mm-hmm. And how would somebody start that process of like, how do I identify what's in between where I am and where I want to be?
It's those daily practices, the way the universe, it has to be knowing each day what you want, who can help you, who you can help, how to get it done. I will tell you, one of the key components, which is aligned with coherence, is asking for help. That paradigm shift, remember, you can't give what you don't receive. So here's what happens to people. One, most people, believe it or not, appreciate what they have. Most people add value to what they have and appreciate it. Then most people love to give, and they give it away. And that's called acknowledgement. So appreciation, adding value. Acknowledgement is acquiring the knowledge of what you have. Only way to do so is to give it away, lose it, get manipulated, stolen from you. But once you remove what you've appreciated from your being, you now have acknowledgement. Now, where most human beings fall down is in asking. See, my mom, for example, is almost 80 years old. Her whole life was to empower other people. Second grade teacher, Sunday school teacher, 6 kids, single mom, the community leader, gave away her health, her wealth, and her happiness, thinking that that's what she was supposed to do and never asked for more herself. Too afraid to ask for more happiness, more wealth, too afraid that somehow there was a zero-sum game going on, that if she took something from someone, then they would lose it. Well, there's not. The universe is expanding, growing, accelerating. When you ask, you're adding to the universe, not taking away. So we need to teach people to not only appreciate what you have, which expands it and makes you bigger, but also acknowledge it, give it away, let it be stolen, lost, whatever. But then when you have this big new empty vessel, the bigger vessel, ask for more. And it's amazing to me how many people do not want other people to feel good, because I will tell you this, when someone's doing something for you, they're at their best, their higher self, and they feel terrific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've heard you say it's not you giving so that you can receive. It's like, I need to receive so that I can give.
You got it.
Ask for the help, ask for the thing that you want, because the worst thing that they can say is no, and you can go ask somebody else. And I love the principle of, instead of asking the question, how am I going to get an Apple TV deal? How am I going to make X amount of money? How am I going to get this client? Starting to shift the paradigm from how to who can help me? Who can help me? And that will immediately open you up to the possibilities, instead of saying, I have to have every single step planned out. Now I get to ask the question of, who can I delegate this to? Who can support me? Who has the answer? Who can show me the way? And that's what you are for so many people.
It's so nice, because asking for help is the ultimate GPS. I call it the superpower GPS. Everybody loves using GPS. Why? Because we ask for directions, and they know it, and they give us directions. But here's what's super cool about the universe. When you ask the universe for help, is the directions you get are super powered. So you may say, hey, I want, to go to the sushi restaurant. Not only will it give me directions, but it'll give me directions to the best sushi restaurant, not the one that I wanted to go to, because it's the ultimate optimal source that's guiding us through this GPS. So the easiest way to get to where you want to be is to ask for help from somebody who's already in the position or situation you want to be in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. What were your biggest takeaways in 2021? I'm just curious. Like, what were the big lessons that you're starting this year off with in your back pocket?
Coherence. How little coherence even I have in my life, that I really want to focus in on remembering what I want to do and doing it. It's a magical combination. Also, my ignorant humility, that I don't know what I don't know. And as much as I remind myself I don't know what I don't know, I know even less. And I got to keep reminding myself, stop being ignorant, arrogant to your children. Don't tell them you should go to this school, or they should be this, or it's better. No. You don't know what the F you're talking about, David, even to the people you love the most. So what you want to do is share your situational knowledge and experience and wisdom, so that they can make the best choice for what fits their values best. So I'm better off teaching my children the 5 daily practices. I'm better off teaching them gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration, and letting them make the choices of, stuff I don't understand or know about, and let them know, by the way, the 3 things: that I love them, I'm proud of them, and I always have their back. I've simplified my parenting down to very easy things. I want to know they're happy, that they're healthy, they love and appreciate me, but I also want them to know that I love them, I'm proud of them, and I always have their back. And I think as a parent, if your children know those things, you're living a blessing, and they're going to thrive.
Well, you're like Uncle Dave to our audience, like teaching these things. It's like the difference between catch a man a fish or teach a man to fish. And that's the difference. So they can teach they can go out and source that wisdom within themselves instead of always looking to you or to somebody else to tell them the way. It's actually about how can I teach you how to find that inside, because that was me my whole life, always looking outside of myself to figure out what's the right decision, what's the right path. And I wish I had guides and mentors like you that said, instead of telling you what to do, I'm going to tell you how to figure out what's best in alignment for you, and only you can know that. So I love that that's what you're teaching.
I got to interrupt because like some of this simple advice people think I'm a genius about. Like take this one. People come with these complex questions. I said, here's what you got to do. Do your best, learn lessons, and have fun. And they're like, oh my God, what a great answer. I'm like, yeah, I told my little league team that I was coaching, hey guys, do your best, learn lessons, and have fun, and we're all going to win. And guess it applies to $1 billion deal for an oil company as well.
Yeah, I know. We overcomplicate it so much. And I love you for bringing us back to the basics. These are the fundamentals. You guys, gratitude, the five daily principles, and the four guiding values. We're going to link all of this into the show notes so that you can connect with David further. You can stream his content on Apple TV when that goes live, and listen to his podcast, The Playbook. Coachable community, we love what you're all about, David. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And
thank you.
Is there anything else you want to share?
Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Join my 14-day gratitude challenge. I'd love to have everyone. It's free. I'm here to be of service or value. My name actually means beloved servant, and I appreciate you. Let's do more together, Tori. I appreciate you. And be kind to your future self. Do good deeds.
Perfect.